Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about 40 Minecraft tips that are guaranteed to make you at least a little bit better at the game. So tip 1 is to click. So there are the 3 clicking methods that I recommend. 1 is jitter clicking, 2 is butterfly clicking, and 3 is drag clicking. It's usually good to just pick one of these and get good at them, but switching clicking methods isn't going to make a huge difference. Number 2. Loot chests quickly. A lot of people neglect looting chests quickly. They think it's not important, so they don't practice it. But if you, every time you open a chest, you try to loot it as quickly as possible, it makes a big difference over time, and it saves you a lot of times, especially when playing public games of Skywars, because you can loot the chest quicker than the other person before they can get to you. Number 3 is to jump bridge. It's very easy to just start clicking the mouse and then walking forwards, or tapping your screen if you're on mobile or on controller or whatever. But jump bridging is the best way to bridge, and it's best and most efficient and fastest way to bridge, which basically just involves starting 3 blocks away, clicking the mouse and running forwards and jumping. Number 4 is to mine ore in Hive Skywars. This is a really important one that I do see quite a few people forget to do, and it's easy. Like, if you're just going for the chests and you don't go for the ore, you're gonna miss out on, the redstone, the gold, the diamonds, and they can all drop lots of really useful stuff. Number 6 is inspect. This is a bit of an underrated one, but at the beginning of your game, if you look at, who you're fighting and who your opponents are, you can know whether to play it more like rushing to mid or more conservatively and saving resources for fighting the stronger players in the game. 7 is to block trap. A lot of the times you're going to be in a game with someone better than you. It happens, like, no matter your skill level, you're going to be playing against someone better. But even if they're better than you, they can still easily die to a block trap, which is basically you break a hole, then you place 2 blocks, and then boom shakalaka, they're gone. Number 8, settings. You're not going to be good if you don't have good settings. That's basically just flat out, that's just how it's going to happen. So you can copy my settings from this recording, or you can copy any other YouTuber's settings or player's settings, or just choose your own, whatever feels best. But here are my settings. Number 9, watch gameplay. This one's actually really underrated, but if you watch gameplay from players like Savage Cabbage, Danny Plays, Yakura, all those really good Skywars players, it really makes a big difference because you can see what they do and their game sense and how they use, projectiles, boomboxes, etc. Number 10 from the final section of the beginner tips is have fun. Next section is the advanced tips. These are the tips that will really make a big difference in your gameplay. The pro tips are kind of like, they're good, but they're niche. And with the beginner tips, you could probably work most of those out on your own, to be honest. So these advanced tips are the ones that are really going to make or break whether you are good or bad. Number 11 in the advanced section is use Flarial or Odyssey or Onyx, but I recommend Flarial. Flarial is a client for Minecraft, which basically lets you have a load of different modules such as arrow counter, CPS, FPS, lots of stuff like that. Number 12 is mine gold. We already covered the mining ore section, but gold is a really underrated one, and I think it's because people see like professional 1v1s between Skywars players and they think, okay, they're mining diamonds, they're mining redstone, they're mining iron, because that's what it is in the preset, in the 1v1 preset. But actually, the reason why they take out the gold is because it makes it unfair. Like, if someone has mined a lot more gold, they're going to have more cobwebs, golden apples, boomboxes, which are all really overpowered in Skywars. Number 13 is use gapples. So, as you can see, I think you can see a bit of a theme here, but a lot of people forget to use gapples, and they don't realize just how OP they are. They think gapples only gives you 2 extra hearts, why don't I just mine 2 redstone? But if you eat a gapple, you're not just getting the absorption hearts, you're also getting regeneration effect, which is really helpful, and it will get you up a lot more hearts than your opponent. Number 14 is use cobwebs. This is another one, really, really, really underrated. And people think that you shouldn't, people don't use cobwebs often at all. You barely ever see people use them. But they're really overpowered because you can basically stop your opponent's movement, and because when you are higher in the air than your opponent, when your opponent is higher in the air than you, you can reach them from further, and usually when they're in the cobweb they'll jump into it, if you can time it right. And then if they're falling down into the cobweb, they won't be able to mine it either, so you can just bow them, hit them, and they'll be pretty easy to kill if you can successfully get them into a cobweb. Number 15 is get redstone before you eat your gapples. So if you mine 5 redstone before you eat your gapples, then you can get 2 extra absorption hearts on top of the 5 that you're normally allowed with redstone. So that's really useful, because like you can, like, whereas if you just eat the gapple and then mine the redstone, it's not going to have nearly the same effect as if you ate the gapple and then mine redstone, because then you're not going to get the extra 2 hearts on top. Number 16 is to strafe around ore. So when someone is chasing you, this I like to call the zero glitch strat, because he does it all the time. When someone is chasing you, or when you're chasing someone, if you quickly mine redstone, flick around, quickly mine redstone, it's a really overpowered, basically, because you can get up a lot of hearts very quickly if they're not paying attention and not mining a redstone every time you do. Number 17 is to jump reset. So jump resetting is quite complicated, and I don't have, well, it's not quite complicated, but it's quite skillful compared to a lot of other things on this list. But I'll give you a quick rundown, because I don't have time to obviously put a full tutorial in this video, but I'll link Zalorn's tutorial in the description. But basically jump resetting is where when someone hits you, you jump. But it's more about the timing. So when they hit you, you want to wait until you're not red anymore, and then you jump when you hit the ground. So I know I just said when they hit you earlier, but actually a lot of people say to jump when they hit you, but that's not actually right, unless you have really, really low ping or high ping. I don't know, I can't remember. But the only way to get it to actually work basically every time is if you click jump right as you hit the floor if you're in a close trade. Number 18 is use boomboxes. Now I love using boomboxes, because even if a player is really good, if you use a good red boombox or poison boombox, there is no way you can be stopped. Because if you use a poison boombox, like a good one, then you're just going to be so much higher. Or if you use a red boombox, you can send them off the edge completely. And then even if they pearl, if you have a purple boombox, then you can boombox over to them and you're going to be like 3.5 hearts higher because they had to pearl. So yeah, boomboxes are just really OP, and a lot of people don't use them. Number 19 is block reset. Now this is quite a popular one nowadays, but I still see a lot of people who don't do it, which is fair enough, because a lot of people think it's annoying, but it's still really powerful if you can use it correctly. So block resetting is basically where in between your hits, where you would normally do a jump reset, if you get knocked up, you place a block beneath you. It kind of has the same effect as jump resetting, because the way it works is when you get knocked up, and then you place a block below you, it's stopping all of your momentum, because you're not in the air anymore. And that's kind of how a jump reset works, is that when you hit the floor before they hit you, then it stops all your momentum. So jump resetting is technically, better than block resetting, but no one on the planet Earth can hit a jump reset every hit, and you can block reset pretty much every hit if you're good at it. But I wouldn't recommend that. It's not the best strategy, but you could do. Number 20 is to use projectiles. It's very easy to underutilize projectiles, but they are insanely overpowered if you know how to use them. If you time a good snowball or a bow shot, which is basically just before you're about to go into a trade, you can get an easy pickup and an easy combo and get a lot more health on your opponent, or even knock them straight off the edge. Tip number 21 is W tap. So I made this mistake for years, where I thought you were meant to W tap while you're in the trade. You never W tap while you're in the trade, pretty much. If you're fighting with someone, it's very much like, unless you're in a very specific scenario where you need to like dodge their hits or something, it's not really recommended to W tap by me at all. You should only really W tap while they're in a combo, so you don't walk into them and get your combo ruined. Number 22 is use crits. Now this one doesn't work on the Hive. There's no crits on the Hive for some reason, but if you're playing Zekua or Cubecraft or even just normal survival, crits are really overpowered because they do 50% more damage, and if you are getting crits while your opponent is not getting crits, you're just going to kill them with ease. Number 23 is hit select. So I don't have time for a full tutorial of this one either, obviously, but it's basically when your opponent hits you, you hit them instead of going for the 3-block hit or furthest hit you can like you would normally do, you time that your hit a little bit after they hit you, so that when they are up in the air, they're 1 block above you, you're below them, so you can get an easy combo, because the hypotenuse is the longest angle of the triangle, and you are, if you think about it, you're the A length, and then the up is the B length, and then the C length is the distance between your head to their head. That's kind of the way to describe it I can do the best, but you're probably going to have to watch another zalorn tutorial. But that's my best explanation. Number 24 is strafe. It's very easy to just straight line people, and it's a very good technique, but generally when you're fighting in usually public games with less good players, strafing is really useful. It becomes less useful when you have good players, because they're obviously going to know how to aim, but it's, I still recommend strafing against them too, but it's most well utilized against worse players, and it basically just throws off their aim. Number 25 is icy bridge. Icy bridging is a bridging method where you bridge diagonally, and it's not super useful in game, but it's very convenient if you want to travel a short distance quickly and don't want to start up a whole jump bridge, and it's better for that short amount of distances. But there's better bridging methods for going different amount of distances. Number 26 is play 1v1s. A lot of people don't do this, and I didn't do this for ages, but 1v1s are basically on Skywars, where you set a preset and you do a 1v1, as the name suggests, and it can make you significantly better, significantly quicker, because just playing Skywars over and over again, most of the time you're not going to be dying, because you actually fought a good player. You're mostly just going to be dying because, you got snowballed off or you didn't get enough gear. Number 27 is the Yakaro block spam. So this one is considered kind of toxic, but it is very overpowered if you can utilize it correctly, and it is much better utilized with higher CPS. But it's basically, what you do is when someone's chasing you, you turn around very quickly and spam a load of blocks in their face, and then you can get multiple redstones, and then if that means you're, up in hearts from them, you can just kill them. Or if you're not, you can just use block spam strat multiple times, and then you'll probably get the kill. Number 28 is play Zeka. So Zeka is a practice server for, a lot of different game modes, and it's just really good to get some aiming practice, etc. in there. And they also have a load of practice game modes for clutching, aiming. Number 29 is texture packs, which is a pack of textures, as you would imagine. And they basically, you import them into Minecraft and then you use them, and it changes the way the game looks. And it can usually give you, or some of them give you, quite a large advantage with things like low fire. So how the fire usually goes up all on your face if you get hit with a fire sword or something. But if you have a texture pack, it deletes the fire texture so that it's not going to cover up your screen and mess up your aim. Number 30 is to like the video. This will give you a huge, massive advantage, because liking the video, it just gives you powers. That's just how it works. And number 31 is to clutch. See what I did there? I put the clutch, you thought it would be, after 20 questions, but 20 answers, but then the clutch came after to show clutching is saving your game. Okay, I'll just shut up. But clutching is basically where you place a load of blocks or cobwebs or whatever, but it's usually done with blocks, beneath you, to stop yourself from getting knocked off the edge. Alright, now we are moving into the pro category. So this is where, these things aren't gonna hugely impact your game, but if you can get them down, they'll just give you that edge that can really help you win in an intense fight between someone who's a similar skill level to you. Number 32 is pearl clutching. So this is pearl clutching is basically where once you're already have been knocked into the void, you throw an ender pearl back up at the island and land on the edge of the bottom of the island and place a load of blocks. This can also be done in a more advanced way if the island does not have a flat surface to clutch on. If you place a load of blocks, which can usually be done by holding down the place button and walking backwards, and then you throw the pearl back up and place a block beneath you to clutch. This is really overpowered because this is basically the only way to counter if you get knocked off the map by a red boombox, or unless you can pearl to another island or something, but it's really useful if you're in a sticky situation. Number 33, 34, and 35 are microstrafe, diagonal jump reset, and advanced hit select. So I've put these all together because I can't really explain them very well because they are quite complicated, and that's why I put another zalorn tutorial in the description to show you how to do that. But once you watch these, if you can get these down, that makes you gives you such a big advantage if you can do them, but I can't really do them that well, so there might not even be any gameplay here. I'm sorry. Number 36 is playstyle. So this one's kind of vague, but it basically means finding your playstyle, finding a good way to play that works. So it's basically mixing up all these things, like using boomboxes, jump resetting, micro strafing, using gapples, all that stuff in the way that works well for you. So if your playstyle involves a lot of projectiles and stuff, you also that's really good that you have a consistent playstyle. But you also, need to know how to switch it up if someone is really good at blocking projectiles or countering with their own projectiles. Number 37 is rewatching your gameplay. So if you record your gameplay and then rewatch it, you can really analyze and see what you did wrong in a fight that made you lose, or what you did well that made you win in a fight, which can really help you because you know what you need to improve and what is already good. Number 38 is a bit of a controversial one, but it's basically exit the game mid-fall. So if you've been knocked into the void, you can minimize Minecraft. If you can reach it in time, you can minimize Minecraft and that will freeze you mid-air. I really don't recommend this one because it's a bit of a grey area on whether it's allowed or not, and it could definitely be considered as glitch abusing. Don't use this on Hive, don't use this on Zequa. Use it on your friends' servers or whatever, just for fun. But this is quite a convenient one, and it's quite cool because if you I don't know, you can freeze mid-air and then you can have someone come and save you. So it's really more of I don't know, a multiplayer survival world trick or multiplayer survival server trick. But it's pretty useful because you can have your friend come and save you if you're in a certain death scenario in the end. And number 39, this one is one of the most important tips: touch grass. So it's really this seems actually silly, but it's so important. If you go outside, you play so much better. And it also if you do stuff like lifting weights, going outside, your forearm muscle and swinging on trees or whatever, your forearm muscles are going to be stronger to move the mouse more precisely. So, and you should also eat blueberries and dark chocolate for improved reaction time. And there's only one more tip left, which is to subscribe, because then you'll get more optimized videos and tips and gameplay to help you be better at the game.